time capsule. It has existed for centuries, used as a means to preserve, even if the artifacts within it were considered junk. What if the role of the time capsule can change? What if it no longer acts as a container of artifacts, but becomes the artifact itself? Museo-Capsule. The Museo-Capsule takes on this new role. By sampling a collection of industrial aesthetics, they curate a catalog of design that can be observed and experienced in the future. They preserve the aesthetic qualities of the disappearing machinic landscape. The industrial aesthetic is evocative of a woeful era, an era with environmentally taxing machinery that polluted the air, water, and earth. The age of machines is dying as these resource-draining objects are becoming obsolete in a more digital-heavy society. But the architecture itself is worth preserving. Museo-Capsules exist to preserve the architecture of these dying machines. They extract the industrial aesthetics of these machines. They strip them of their program, revealing solely the architectural qualities of the industrial object. Material qualities are compiled to create new forms, new compositions. Museo-Capsules become an experiential catalog that displays a variety of aesthetic groups. The industrial era will leave behind many ruins. Metal deposits will rust, and vegetation might begin to grow. Still, beauty can be found in this abandoned state. Post-industrial artifacts retain a unique aesthetic that benefits from the passing of time. Rather than existing as leftover trash, they can be combined into new forms that highlight their eerie allure. Machinic production ranges from the extreme to the finite, anywhere from an oceanic oil refinery to in-house tile cutting. The industrial quality of everyday material is usually overlooked, as the standardization of domesticity gives the illusion of personal aesthetic. Reforming this industrial standardization calls attention to the previously overlooked industrial landscape of standard objects. These industrial objects can tower over the landscape, or bury themselves deep beneath the surface. Despite their monumental presence, they are often overlooked due to their ubiquitous nature. Such machines are engraved in daily life and prevalent in the built environment. But what they reveal is not always representative of their true nature and function. Museo-Capsules can have a monumental presence. Something suited for capturing a bold aesthetic. The corporate, business aesthetic seeks this type of representation. Corporations face an aesthetic economy where developing a brand and style are essential. But, in reality, what are thought of as individual styles often exist within a single aesthetic regime. The business district in any city is recognized from miles away. By using previously exacerbated building techniques, this museo-capsule mimics the business district. It is giving a second breath to these techniques and materials. Elements typically seen in the tall, sleek skyscrapers of downtowns are reappropriated. The museo-capsule creates a new type of architecture. The construction industry is one of the most detrimental to the environment. Yet it is also one of the most essential to the practice of architecture. As the demand for building construction increases, mass production becomes increasingly more common. Nuance and originality are sacrificed for high production and low costs. But this new refined set of parameters and materials is not entirely negative. It can lead to new methods and innovation. A lot can be done with a little. The museo-capsule exists at multiple scales. From an object that can occupy a room, to one the size of an oil refinery. The duality of scale brings to the forefront the inescapable presence of the industrial landscape. Similarly, the museo-capsule doesn't let viewers escape its presence. The built environment today is being populated with more and more buildings and less architecture. This condition has led to an increasing loss of the role of the architect in our current society. So, as we look towards the future of architecture, it is easy to see its precarious state. However, this condition can change if we are willing to shift the role of the architect. In our project, we use the medium of the museo-capsule to take back agency. The architect will no longer design buildings for the present, but Museo-Capsules of the future.